Hi lovelies, this is Ata Ashiru, Creative Director of Inkheart Studios, coming to you today with 5 useful tips for wording your wedding invitation. So if you're ready, let's get started. So you're engaged and wedding planning is well underway. Congratulations. It's time to order your dream invitations, but suddenly you're stumped on how to word them correctly. Well, fear not, because these 5 simple tips I'm about to share will make your wording process seem like a breeze. Traditionally, the parents or family of the bride will host the wedding. But in modern times, evolving family structures and finances have made this a bit tricky. So this is what I say really. Speak to family members who are involved and get their thoughts on what's deemed acceptable in terms of wording. But at the end of the day, really, it's all about the couples. These days, couples want to reflect their personal style as much as possible on their wedding invitations, which is great. However, there are 2 commonly used phrases when writing the request line. The first one is request the honor of your presence. Now, this would usually indicate that the ceremony would be at a place of worship, like a church or a mosque or a synagogue. The second one is request the pleasure of your company. This would indicate that the ceremony would not be at a place of worship. So a beach or a rooftop, whatever. At the end of the day, it's whatever rocks your boat. So your time should always be spelled out on your invitations. You should not use numbers. So for instance, do not use the number 7. Actually spell it out in words. And also, if your time is on the hour, it should be followed by o'clock. So you say 7 o'clock. If your time is not on the hour, for instance 7:30, make sure you hyphenate it. So it should say 7-30 in words. Remember that. One last thing, your time should also be followed by the time of day. So for instance, it should say 7 o'clock in the morning, or you can say 7 o'clock at night. You may find this interesting. The year of the wedding is usually not included as part of the wording for the date. However, if you should include it, do remember to spell it out. Also, do not include the word "and" when you're spelling out the year. So for instance, it should read 2015. What it should not read is 2015. If the reception will be at a separate location other than your ceremony, then do remember to make use of an enclosure card. Now, this enclosure card can be called your reception card, or it can be called your access card. Otherwise, if your reception and ceremony would be at the same location, the details for your reception can be shown on the main invitation card. If you choose to use a monogram for your wedding invitations, as well as branding for your entire wedding, do remember not to use the 3-letter ones, because those are usually reserved for before the ceremony. So an example of 3-letter monogram is the first initial of the bride's first name, the couple's married name in the middle, and the first initial of the groom's first name. However, if you choose to use a monogram, you can use one that has an ampersand between the first initials of the couple's names. But remember, the bride's initial always comes first. So, one last thing. Did you know that it's considered a major faux pas to include your gift registry information on your wedding invitation suite? Oh my goodness, I've done this as well, and I'm sure a lot of you out there have done this too. Well, if you decide to include this information, you can put it on your wedding website if you have one. Otherwise, you can include a separate enclosure card that says gift registry information. So that's it, lovelies. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my 5 tips for wording your wedding invitations. We look forward to designing your wedding invitation suites.